In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to mix tints and shades and tertiary colors for your painting. So the first thing you want to do is get some big scrap paper off the cart near the painting center to put down on the table so you don't have to worry about cleaning the table after. Get a cup of water, fill it up about halfway, and get a few brushes. Get like 2 to 3, don't get more than that, in different sizes. And you're going to then get a paper plate, get yourself some white, the color that you'd like, and black. So I'm going to start out by showing you how to get tints. And you're going to get those in the paints that pump. Just be very careful because sometimes they squirt all over the place, so make sure you have a smock on. Now you'll notice I have really not a big amount of paint here. These are just about the size of a quarter. So, and I have them really, really spread out, so this whole area I can use to mix a bunch of different values of my tints. So the first thing I want to do is just think about what value I want. So if I wanted to do just straight blue in one area, if you notice, I'm putting the paint on the brush only halfway. I'm not even going up to the metal. Sometimes I see students go like this. That's very, very hard to control, okay? That just makes it blob everywhere. What you want to do is just put a little bit on there. That way, smooth it out and have it be nice and even. And you can always go and get more if you need it. And I always like, especially when I'm painting kind of geometric shapes like I am here, I start on the edges and I work my way in. Sometimes I see students, when they go to do like a square shape, they start in the middle and then they try to like work their way out and then they get rough edges. If you do the edges first, then you can kind of smooth out everything in the middle. So from here, now we want to start mixing some of our tints. So take a little bit of your hue, okay, like blue or red or orange, and take some paint, and notice I'm putting them in a separate section. I'm using it almost like a scooper, right? I'm not mixing anything into there. And I'm keeping this in a small area. Now you'll notice sometimes it starts to get a little thicker toward the edges, then you just drag it in. So now I have a nice light value of blue. Now I can start painting my nice light value of my blue. And if I wanted to make another one even lighter, I could just scoop a lot of that, just the tiniest bit of blue. And here I have an even lighter version, okay, that I can paint somewhere else. Now what I don't want to see you do, that I see students do sometimes, is don't do this when you go to mix. They do such a big area that it winds up taking up practically the whole plate, and then they can't mix a lot of values. So keep it in a little area, like the size of a 25-cent quarter. Now the next thing that we're going to do from here is I'm going to show you on what's left of this messy disaster plate how to mix a shade. So I'm going to start out by taking some of my hue color, so give you your blue, your red, your violet, whatever it is, and the tiniest little dot of black. And then I'm going to mix it around to about the size of a quarter. And then I'm going to paint. So you see how now it's kind of like a navy blue? Now the black, it's really concentrated, so you just need a tiny, tiny little bit. If you want it to go darker, you just add a tiny bit more at a time. Okay. Now if you were to mix a tertiary color, which is kind of an in-between color, you just want to make sure that we even these out too. You don't want to have those like stripes in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Some artists like Paul Klee can have like a kind of a texture on their paint too, and that's kind of nice. But we certainly don't want to have big clumps like this, because when that dries, it will actually crack off with temper paint. So I'm going to get a little bit of green to show you how to mix a tertiary color. So a tertiary color, if you look at the color wheel above the painting center, it's the colors that are in between the primaries and the secondary. So blue is a primary, green is a secondary. If you mix them together, let's get a little more blue in there. You get kind of an in-between color, like a blue-green, and that's kind of a nice effect too. And if you want, you can even tint those colors as well, if you wanted to get even more effects. So that is pretty much all that you need to know for now about mixing tints and shades and tertiary colors. Good luck!